All right, this is Act 1 of the latest edition of the free Eric Zane Show podcast for July 19th. I break the podcast up into two parts now, so two separate entries on your favorite podcasting platform. As soon as Act 1 ends, go into Act 2. There you go. Enjoy it, and thank you so much for supporting me and listening to the show. We meet again. Welcome into the Eric Zane Show podcast, the daily show, where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures. Thank you to Amy for hooking me up with this shirt some time ago. It says local celebrity. Embarrassing. Patrick says, good morning to King Glob and Queen Goobear and all the fraudulent subjects. As a callback to yesterday's show, a horrible reference was made. I stand by it, though. You got to stand by your references. Linda says, I forgot Fridays were early podcast day. I was just looking for something to listen to. Well, here you go, madam. I got you covered. Next week is going to be a little weird because I will be up at Fear Bunker North doing my thing. And so I'm going to leave the premises in the morning and do my morning radio show at Q100 and then come back to Fear Bunker North to do the podcast. Running around like a chicken with my head cut off. Why are you doing that, Easy? Well, the folks at the radio station, they're like, hey, this is like our Super Bowl week here at the radio station. And we'd like you to actually be here for it. And they were like all serious about it. They go, we really need you. I go, well, yeah, any excuse to get up north. Are you kidding me? My motto is more trees, less assholes. Yes. I'm all about it. So off I go. The event that they're excited about all week long up north, it's called the Ausable River Fest. Ausable is the river that runs through town. I think there's actually two, the Manistee and the Ausable, that kind of like meet there, you know? I don't know. Anyway, for like 100 years now, there's been this wild-ass canoe race. It's a canoe marathon where right there in Grayling, they throw the canoes in the water and then they paddle all the way to like Oscoda or something like that, which is many, many miles away. And it's a damn blowout bash. People just having so much fun doing that thing. So I'm excited about that. I don't have it in front of me. I don't want to search for it. But at the start of the race, you've got like 100 canoe teams, two people per canoe, and they're like half a mile away from where you jump in the water. Now we're broadcasting from right where they jump in the water, and they're in the middle of the street in this small town called Grayling, Michigan, and they go, on your mark, get set, go, and then these people pick up their canoes, and then they run like a bat out of hell to the starting point and throw them in the water, and off they go. They're completely self-sustained. They got their water. They got their food all packed in there. The very first winners of that race, like 100 years ago, the two young men who did it at the time, their canoe is on display at a restaurant across from where the start of the race is. It's a historic hot spot called Spikes. And that actual canoe was in the rafters. And there's an article from the local newspaper from that period of time on the wall detailing what these two Hilljacks did to win the race. And, you know, it's reminiscent of the times they go, yeah, we had a flask of booze, a little bit of water, and some butterscotch candies. And that's all we needed. And then they won the damn thing. Now, they've gotten a lot faster over the years. And it's a blowout. People from all over the United States and beyond come to this little town for this event. So I'm part of that all next week. And that's why I'll be doing the podcast from up north, which there's always a hint of trepidation because of my internet connection there. I have an internet connection, but it's done through satellite. So it's a little bit wonky, you know? But if you can put up with the occasional lag, you'll be fine. I imagine that by the time I start the show on Monday, it will then be known that Biden has dropped out of the presidential race. What a stunning time we are living in terms of historic events and news. I hope, I don't know, do you appreciate it like I do? I mean, I'm not, and I'm taking the good with the bad and looking at it as just, this is a bizarre, bizarre time. Right now, as we currently sit, Trump is still riding this wave of momentum that was compounded even more so by him surviving the assassination attempt. He spoke at the RNC last night. I can't watch that shit. I can't do it because any politician will tell you exactly what you want to hear. And I don't want to sit through that because, frankly, I don't care who's talking. I'm probably not getting the truth. So when that happens, I tune it out. But I think the thing that has been captivating to me has been more so what Biden has done or what he hasn't done. How he has, you know, it started with, well, the time leading up to that debate. Then that debate was an absolute catastrophe. That alone would have prompted, I think, the calls. And I think that had a lot to do with it. And no one's forgotten that. And now you have all these bigwig senators, congresswomen, congressmen, I guess I just say members of Congress, who are saying, all right, yeah, wrap it up. Because they're concerned about their jobs. And as the minutes tick by, there are more and more bits of information that are coming out that are suggesting that the end is near for Joe Biden. I want to start with this clip. Granted, it's from Newsmax, which is powered by conservatives. But just listen to what is being said here by Mark Halperin. Why do I not know who Mark Halperin is? Is he a senator? Is he a congressman? Yes, he's a U.S. senator. Wait a minute. I might be getting that wrong. No, he's a journalist, you idiot. I don't even know what the fuck I'm playing for you. Okay, this is the clip about what they are saying. Amanda says, oh, but the newest source that I have should not be trusted. Good point, madam. Good point. However, I'm using this and comparing it and contrasting it to what is being said in the liberal media, too. So if you just give me a chance and not jump down my throat, I'm not a fucking hostess ho-ho.
Carl, according to multiple Democratic sources, this is happening all of a sudden. Everyone said it would happen gradually and then all at once, and that's what's happening. According to my sources, President Biden has agreed to step down as the Democratic nominee.
Oh, man.
It will happen as early as this weekend. A speech has been drafted for him. He will continue on as president, is his intention. He also will not, I'm told, endorse Vice President Harris as his successor.
Wow.
They're hoping that he will endorse an open process in which the convention will be open to Vice President Harris and a few other candidates in Chicago to pick the Democratic nominee for president. The belief is that Vice President Harris is already looking at potential running mates to go to Chicago with a full ticket, including one possibility, Andy Beshear, the governor of Kentucky, and perhaps the governor of Pennsylvania, Governor Shapiro. Other possible candidates.
Okay, if that's true, if Harris is thinking about those folks for running mate. The name that's not mentioned there is Whitmer, Michigan's governor. I wonder if she's going to throw her hat into this.
Candidates who are being talked about include Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, perhaps Gretchen Whitmer,
there you go,
and again, the vice president running. On the first ballot, the regular delegates would be allowed to vote under this agreement that's being talked about amongst the president and high-level Democrat officials. The regular delegates would vote on the first ballot. If there is no winner on the first ballot, the so-called super delegates would be allowed to vote on the subsequent ballot. This decision was reached, I'm told, all of a sudden because of the high-level pressure from Nancy Pelosi, Barack Obama, and others, and as well as the decision of many of President Biden's top aides that there was no path forward for him, that he would not be able to win this election, win the general election. And therefore, he's stepping aside again as early as this weekend.
So, holy shit. Oh, my God. This is unbelievable. NBC News had an interesting story about all of this growing pressure on Biden.
Tonight, President Biden is in self-isolation, both literally and politically, after testing positive for COVID. In a new letter, his doctor saying he has just mild symptoms and no fever. All while the walls seem to be closing in on his campaign. Even some of his most defiant backers privately say the pressure to drop out is getting too intense. We're close to the end, a person close to the president tells NBC News. Another person who spoke to a senior campaign official saying they're finally realizing it's a when, not if. But the president is still moving forward. In a radio interview conducted right before he was tested for COVID yesterday, his cough is evident as he addresses public questions about his age.
Well, what happens when he's 84 years old? What happens when he's 85 years old? I was smart enough to know with age comes wisdom.
Still, tonight...
you know what else comes with it? Parkinson's. Dementia.
New pressure to leave the race from powerful Democrats.
I'm disgusted with his wife. All right? And it all boils down to she sees what you and I see and then some. How she is not saying, shut it down, big fella, is beyond me. She needs to publicly come out and say, yeah, come on. He's making an asshole out of himself. He's embarrassing himself. Don't you have any feelings to protect your husband? How can you possibly be comfortable with this happening? That to me is really bad here. You're supposed to watch out for each other. You're not doing that.
To leave the race from powerful Democrats. Two sources tell NBC News former President Obama has concerns about President Biden's ability to stay at the top of the ticket. One source saying Mr. Obama sees President Biden's path to winning as getting harder. And citing multiple sources, CNN reports former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi privately told President Biden polling shows he cannot defeat former President Trump and could destroy Democrats' chances of winning the House. A Pelosi spokesperson would only confirm she has not spoken to the president since Friday. And in a meeting with the president Saturday, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer also shared recent polling data showing Biden trailing Mr. Trump in what two sources familiar with the meeting called a blunt conversation. Tonight, though, the president still has the support of top Democrat Jim Clyburn.
I'm riding with Biden, and that's not going to change. What would it
he looks fucked up, too.
Take for me to change my mind? It would take him changing his.
Publicly, the White House and campaign are aggressively pushing back against Democratic leaders, trying to push the president out.
Obviously, our campaign disagrees about the path to victory not being there.
Late today, a source close to the president telling NBC News in 2015, Obama, Pelosi, Schumer pushed Biden aside in favor of Hillary.
Oh, no.
They were wrong then, and they are wrong now. With her running mate sidelined, it is Vice President Harris on the trail, visiting battleground North Carolina and vowing to fight.
Do we believe in the promise of America? And are we ready to fight for it?
Okay, I'm yelling.
And when we fight, we win.
And Gabe, there have been more troubling signs for the president regarding major donors. Tell us about that.
Yes, Lester, a person with knowledge of the projections tells NBC News the Biden campaign now expects it will raise only 25% of the big donor money it had planned for in July. This person says the money has dried up.
Oh, no. That's the worst news out of all this. 25% of the however much they needed for, the funds to put out the ads and all that. Yeah, this is a goddamn disaster. Kuiper says that Harris's voice is annoying. Trump came out to speak at the RNC yesterday to that James Brown song, "It's a Man's World." Oh, my God. This guy does not give a fuck. Fucking Kid Rock's out there making an asshole of himself. Holy shit. Matt says, riding with Biden, that's a car nobody wants to be in. Concerning that cough, Jeremy writes, that cough was disgusting. That was the wettest cough possibly ever. Jeremy adds, I think Whitmer would be a better running mate, but I don't hear the name being talked about as VP. IMKO says, Kid Rock's tough guy video was some real cringy shit. Well, I got to see that. Was that out? Let's see. Kid Rock. Well, I don't even know what I'd look up. Is that on his Twitter? Shit, I don't know. Fucking A. Probably. Yeah, here it is. Oh, Bobby. Oh, Bobby. Let's hear what he has to say.
We just arrived in Milwaukee to support our tried and true red, white, and blue 100% American badass president.
Why do you feel the need to do it in front of the goddamn plane? We can't hear you, you fucking idiot.
What's going to happen tonight? Tune in to find out. But here's a hint. Are you scared?
You know what I'm scared about? Seeing that tooth again.
Scared? Are you scared?
Look at how is that even a thing?
Tune in to find out. But here's a hint. Are you scared?
That tooth on his bottom row there is so out of place.
God bless Donald Trump. God bless America.
Oh, God. All right, now I want to see the performance.
We're ready for President Trump to take the stage. I need everybody to stand up. I need everybody to put a fist up in the air. Everybody, get a fist up in the air. Now follow me. Say fight, fight. Say fight, fight. Say fight, fight. Say somebody scream. The devil without a cause. I'm back with the beaver hats and Ben Davis. You ready for?
Oh, God. I feel like such a dick for liking Kid Rock. I had no idea how much of a douchebag he is at the time. Everybody else seemed to, but I didn't. God, that's ugly. Chris says, don't ruin a good Metallica song, asshole. And he's doing it to a backing track. He had his DJ there. It wasn't great. It's just not great. Oh my God. I reached out to a potential special guest. I'm waiting to hear back. Whenever you're ready. We shall see. A little bit more about this. Actually, probably a lot more. Biden did an interview with BET. This is bad. Thank you, Chris, for sending this along. Biden did an interview with BET, and he had done it like a few days ago, and they had been promoting that it's going to be coming up. Well, it was just released. Now, a lot went wrong on this interview. Despite that, it aired. Now, if I'm whoever is with Biden and he performs as badly on the interview as I'm about to show you, I'm paying off BET to keep them from releasing it. I'm hiring another hitman to shoot the executives at BET like they did to try to kill Trump. I don't really believe that, but a lot of people do. Okay, in this clip on BET, Biden is talking about how all of the issues he got, the heat he got when he decided to hire a black guy to be his Secretary of Defense, Lloyd Austin. The problem is Biden cannot remember the guy's name in this clip. Instead, he says this.
And so it's all about treating people with dignity. And it's about making sure that, look, I mean, for example, look at the heat I'm getting because I named the Secretary of Defense to a black man. I named Ketanji Brown. I mean, because of the people I've named.
Okay, a lot going on there. He wanted to say, look at the heat I've gotten. But you don't hear that because he says, yeah. And then he's stammering around trying to figure out who his Secretary of Defense is. And instead goes with the black guy. He says, oh, yeah, the black guy. And then he realized that's fucked up. So then he says Ketanji Brown, which is incorrect. Let me do that again. In theory. Why isn't that playing? That makes me upset. Come on now. I want to hear it again, for God's sake. All right, that's pissing me off. That's unbelievable. How can this even be happening? The black guy?
And so it's all about treating people with dignity. And it's about making sure that, look, I mean, for example, look at the heat I'm getting.
Look at the heat I'm yep. That's what he said.
Because I named the Secretary of Defense to a black man. I named Ketanji Brown. I mean, because of the people I've named.
Oh. Come on, man. This is Lloyd Austin. That's not Ketanji. This account says this is the black man, Secretary of Defense. This one was bad, too. According to Not the Bee, it says the interview actually got more cringeworthy than that, if you can believe it. Biden claims he's losing support among black voters because he can't, quote, go through the projects where black people live. Oh, no.
I think that, and one thing does change, it's not an excuse, an explanation. I would ordinarily be going through black neighborhoods on the foot, working through the neighborhoods. I have a tradition. I close every campaign, no matter what campaign, going into the projects and going down the east side.
Jesus Christ. So, probably the one thing that Biden would have would be African-American voters. But you have to see that this is a horrible thing. I mean, there would need to be you'd have to be giving people the side eye when Biden is talking about, I let it go into black neighborhoods, the projects.
I would ordinarily be going through black neighborhoods on the foot, working through the neighborhoods. I have a tradition. I close every campaign, no matter what campaign, going into the projects and going down the east side. And, hey, Joe, how you doing? Everybody, well, just because they're my friends, let them know I'm still there. We can't do that now. Not because of the black community, because it's too dangerous for me to be out walking unaccompanied.
What?
So what I'm doing, though, is trying to keep in touch with as many of my black constituents and letting people know that I'm available. I'm available.
Well, I don't get that. What's too dangerous? What's this? Why is I'm lost.
It's a reason why I got involved in politics in the first place. Not a joke. Not a joke. Everybody deserves a shot. Everybody deserves a shot. And we've demonstrated, you give them a shot, they step up. They step up in every community. That's why the black community is doing as well as it is now. And it's going to do better.
Okay. This is horrible. Then it says, meanwhile, listen to this heartwarming story Biden has from his visit to one of the nation's quote-unquote black homes in South Carolina. He's telling us some anecdote.
And by the way, for example,
it's remarkable that it continues to get worse.
If I was in South Carolina, went to going to a black home where a dad and his son were sitting at the kitchen table with him and they talk about it. And after it was all over, the father said, no one's talked to my son like this before. No one said, you really mean it. I do mean it. I mean it.
The energy is low. There's no winning this. There's no going back at this point. Yeah, Amanda, I don't know if I want to throw out that joke. Jeremy says, everyone deserves a shot, especially if you're a geriatric white man. Patrick says, this man needs to be at home with his family enjoying his golden years. Chris suggested that he meant, quote, it's too dangerous for me to be out unaccompanied. Oh, my God. Matt said, quote, the black man, they all look alike. Oh. Amanda says, the black man, Condoleezza Rice. God. This is so bad. Just so bad. So we wait. We wait, try to find out what is next. So welcome in, and hope you're enjoying the show. I want to say welcome to everybody who is watching the show on Facebook, X, and YouTube. Please remember to check me out on Twitch, twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live. That's where you get the show in its entirety. I'm going to bring in Stu McAllister right now. It's been way too long since we had him on here.
Eric Zane.
Stu McAllister, what is up, buddy?
I just left the vet. It's always exciting going to the vet.
Hey, did you bring one of the dogs in that you yell at?
Oh, yeah. The one that I yelled at. I took her to the vet.
Really?
And, oh, yeah. Good times, man. She's an old lady. And you know what happens when you get old, right?
I have audience members that are still harboring resentment over the great Stu McAllister dog yelling moment. And
you feel free to give them my address and they can come over and they can get some too.
Yeah, that's a play out of my book there. Invite them over.
I saw that you were sitting in front of your house waiting for Fatty to show up.
Yeah, he didn't show. Can you believe that?
What? Fatty didn't show?
I have to admit, when I did that, I went, this could backfire. This could backfire. And
Fatty shows up and beats your ass.
Yeah. And so when I explained to Pooh Bear, I go, look, hey, this is going down. I might need you to video record this. She's like, why do you do these things? What is wrong with you? You're such a stupid shit.
It's fun though, right?
Yeah, I like responding with emotion. It makes me feel good, you know?
Yeah, I know. I like to do it too, but then I feel regret a good portion of the time later.
I think if that guy would have shown up and beaten the shit out of me, then I would have felt some regret at that point.
He hasn't gotten back to you in any kind of way, though, right?
No, most people don't. Whenever there's typically people take a run at me, and then I go look at their pictures on Facebook, and then I'll post a picture of their disgusting, ugly children or something like that.
Beautiful. I love it.
So I was just playing some clips of Biden. It's pretty much over, right?
Man, I guess. I don't know. We know the deal, though, right? We've already done this. We know what Trump is. We know what Biden is. They both are awful candidates. Whatever, right? I mean, what's the party going to do with Biden? They're going to cut him loose, and then who?
Yeah, I'm hearing that a handful of people are being thrown around, including Whitmer, Gavin Newsom, and Kamala Harris.
Okay, they're all half Biden's age, so I guess that's good.
Yeah, I mean, the age thing alone is a step. I just played a clip from the interview with BET that Biden did. And he recorded this fucking thing like 4 days ago.
Okay.
And I'm surprised, I talked about it, that they didn't put a hit out on the interviewer to keep this from being released like they did.
Is it bad?
Yeah, because he's sitting there in front of BET guy, and he says, look, I got a lot of heat. And he wanted to talk about how when he made Lloyd Austin, the black guy, his Secretary of Defense.
Sure.
Except he didn't remember that his name was Lloyd Austin.
Oh, God.
And he forgot. And when I made Secretary of Defense the black guy. That's exactly what he said. And then it's like, oh, no. Oh, no. So.
Yeah, it's he needs to stop talking. Is it possible for a president to not talk anymore?
Yeah, right. I mean, it's. Oh, man. And then the money is drying up. Nobody's donating anymore. It's just fucking over. Trump is going to fuck us right in the butt.
Oh, God. Again?
Yeah, he's taking over. So get ready for Kid Rock and racism and dead gay people and all that shit. Because it's Trump's world. So you better start to wrap your mind around this shit, Stu McAllister. Because this shit's going down. That motherfucker is going to win.
Well, I guess I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, he already did it once. Why not again?
Oh,
there's a lot of weirdos.
He's going to kick the shit out of everybody. And then he's going to start he's got a list of names. And you better hope that we're not on it.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I'm a straight white guy, so I'm relatively safe, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
So is Hulk Hogan going to get a membership in the cabinet somewhere?
Oh, I'm glad you reminded me of that. I got to play that clip of Hulk Hogan ripping off his goddamn shirt.
He's such a hack. Dude, you've been doing this 50 years. Stop it.
Yeah, it's remarkable. When it comes to Hulk Hogan, he may have been the least talented wrestler to ever be famous. Because he romps around the ring. He always did, like Frankenstein. He can't do anything but drop the big leg. He's just a big, fat, fucking tall dude.
They've said that leg drop is like the worst finisher of all time. It's just so bad. But he was the first monster out there, the first big muscular dude. So
right.
We got to put this guy out there.
Big as a house. What else is going on in your world, Stu McAllister? Are we delivering dots still? I haven't gotten an update in a long time.
Yeah. Still dotting. I now travel all over the state the Midwest because we're now in Indiana and Ohio as well.
So that means you might start the day at home.
Yeah.
And then travel like all that way to deliver some ice cream.
Yes, you are correct.
Oh,
I have stared at Kentucky. I've been on one side of the Ohio River, and I'm staring at Kentucky.
So,
it's pretty ridiculous.
When you get there, do you spend the night there?
Oh, yeah. I'll have to spend a night. I'll have to get a hotel room and stay somewhere. So, yeah, I've stayed in some real awful hotels, man.
Now,
oh, my God, it's ridiculous.
I know that you're really into abusing animals, so you probably just leave the dogs at home, right?
No, I bring them with me.
Oh, you bring them with you? Okay, good. All right, good.
Yeah, I bring them with me.
Well, it sounds like you're living the dream to me, man.
Not really, but it's okay. I'm getting through the summer, man. I'm getting through it, so it's all good, man.
Did you hint around to me that you had gone to a comedy club, but did you get on stage?
No, I did. I went to the comedy club to see the 3 local guys over the 4th of July weekend. Garrett, Matt Cook, and Carl Sobel. I went to the show to see those 3 dudes do their thing. So that was a lot of fun. It's good to see local guys do their stuff.
Nothing in the works, though, huh?
For me, getting on stage, no, nothing like that. I don't want to do any of the old shit that have to come up with a new act again, and who starts at 5 minutes and then progresses. I'd have to work on it. You know how it is.
Yeah, oh yeah, big pile of shit. Big pile of shit.
It's all shit. It's all garbage.
Okay, well, I'll keep promoting that you're opening up for Dane Cook and what's the other fucker's name? I don't know.
Tom Segura.
And because
can you tell people that I'm opening up for Rob Newhart?
Oh, yeah, holy shit, he's dead. God damn it, can you believe that?
I love Bob Newhart. I was always trying to get him to come to Laugh Fest, and I don't know if he just was too old at the time or what, but he's a guy that I regret never being able to see live. He was awesome.
So, I published, speaking of Laugh Fest, I published those Lost Zane recordings from my years on BBL, and I guess the show just hit when they made us wander over to like the art museum.
Oh God.
And I think it was like you and I were just like kind of like chit-chatting with Ben, maybe. Was Ben there too?
Yeah.
And we're talking about comedy. We had to fill a lot of time. I remember that. That was annoying. And then we were on the air live when they started to actually have their announcement of the guests. So it's a quiet room, and the announcer was, I don't know if it was who it was, that DeVos guy, talking about the acts, and we're on the air, and we were like whispering, like trying to be quiet about it. It was so bad.
I was going to say that makes for good radio whispering.
Oh, Jesus Christ, the shit we went through. Hey, you remember that crazy bitch, Lori?
Yes.
She is now in South Bend, so if you drive through to that shithole, you might hear that crazy bitch on the radio.
She's on the radio in South Bend.
Yes, that's where she got fired finally by Cumulus, thank God. And you know what I found out? I found out that because I had tried to get in on LAV there.
Yeah.
And the powers that be at LAV were like, oh yeah, well Lori told us that EZ is like on the corporate do not hire list.
Huh.
So I was like, oh wow, that's fucked up. But then after she got fired, they come to find out that that's not true. That was just a lie.
Sure. Yeah.
She was just making that shit up.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. She seemed like a nutbag. She had her own agenda.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, whatever.
All right.
She belongs in South Bend. It's a shithole.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. Are you going to be at any wrestling events coming up, Stu, that we should know about?
No grapples, no nothing. I heard you're going to be at the race tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll be over at Berlin.
All right. Throw tickets my way. I might show up.
Oh, really?
Sure, why not?
Okay, I'll let you know.
Yeah, have you seen my new look now? I'll fit right in.
With the Fu Manchu, the Fu Man stew?
And the mullet.
Oh, dude, fuck yes. I love it. I love that Fu Man stew. That's my favorite. I love that it's called the Fu Man stew.
Or the Stew Manchu, either way.
Hey, one more thing. I remember you talking about you could only drink non-alcoholic beer because you're about to die or something years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, are you off that?
I got health issues. Oh, yeah, I'm back to booze.
You're back to booze. Okay, good.
Yeah, I don't
you're
care
good.
if I die.
Yeah, all right, good. I'm glad to hear that. I was going to say, that's fucked up, Stu.
Yeah, I was pre-diabetic, man. I'm now trying to fight that off.
Oh, you piece of shit. You're so dead.
I know, dude. I got about 2 months.
I know it. It's awesome. I hope you die this weekend.
At the races.
All right, buddy. I'll talk to you.
All right, we'll see you.
There goes Stu McAllister. He's an absolute legend. Love him so much. I'm wondering if he is out of the doghouse yet. Our beloved radio voice Linda used to make listening to Stu's show a regular thing. And then out of the blue, one day on his show, he started yelling at his dog. And that rubbed her the wrong way. And, we beat him up pretty good about it on this show. He's like, Sadie, oh my God, you peed in the house. He's freaking out at the dog. And he posted it. He published him berating the dog. Oh. And Linda says, no, fuck that. I'm still damaged by it. Fuck him. Chris says Stu isn't even a fatty and he's pre-diabetic. Linda says, guess who loved it? Pellerito. Oh, I guess he listens to that show too. Well, there you go. Well, whatever. All right. For those of you that are enjoying the show on Facebook, X, and YouTube, I'm now officially going to kick you out. I didn't really do it last time, but I'm going to send you on your way in the full show. The rest of the show is available on Twitch, twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live, or download the Twitch app and search Eric Zane Live, and you will be watching and enjoying the rest of this show. As always, the audio of this becomes the audio podcast. You can find it wherever you download shows. I choose Apple Podcasts. And then Patreon. I just posted on Patreon this week's Who Are These Free Beers show, which, what did I name it? There's a name for it. I always have a name that has something to do with, okay. It is called The Fake Thirst Trap Debate. Here's what happened in the show. I wrote, or my writer wrote, we've come to the conclusion that the gang on Freebird and Hot Wings get a large portion of their show prepping done while simply milling around in the kitchen. FBHW show newcomer Tommy actually enjoys going to the dentist. That's it. Nothing more to say, but a long, boring back and forth discussion spawned from this proclamation. Hot Wings gets beat up for more of his quote-unquote hot takes. Ben's camera went haywire. Ben pulled a set of clips from a 15-minute segment where Greg would announce a food product and everyone had to vote on whether or not it belongs in the refrigerator. Again, further proof that the FBHW show prep begins in the kitchen. The fake thirst trap debate. Free Beer concocted some nonsense story about how he accidentally posted a picture of Kelly that she really thinks is hot. And finally, Maitland told a mind-numbing story about buying a pair of boots. That's all available on Patreon. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. You can sign up for 7 days free and check out that show and the 21 previous editions of Who Are These Free Beers. I've been corresponding with Chris Mack. Chris is another one of these. There's only a handful of them. Jeremy K. that I know of. Patrick in South Carolina. And this fella, Chris. There may be more, but those are the ones that come to mind, who were all in on their show and then would occasionally check mine out. Or maybe listen to both or whatever. But part of this number of people, and it's a small group, but I'm counting on them. I'm counting on them to increase in numbers of people who have been almost like brainwashed into thinking that they are listening to something that they want to listen to. I've talked about it, about how breaking the spell of their show, that there are other things to listen to, may not even be my show. Chris writes this. I'm just now listening to Who Are These Free Beers? He writes, you hit the nail on the head with your comments about the loyal listeners of their show that have been trapped into the FBHW family of devotion. I, like you said, was one of those poor bastards, and thankfully have now seen the light and am free from that bullshit loyalty. I wish I was like listener Kenny, who made the transfer when you first got fired. The question going forward, EZ, is how do we get more listeners like myself and the others you mentioned to see the same thing and switch over? We could call in and interact with them and try to grab their audience, but I think anything we would attempt would just increase their ratings. Because if their audience is tickled about what goes into their fridges, a Zaniac, or I don't use that term anymore, but he does, a Zaniac calling in and creating controversy would fucking blow their minds. We need to get together as a group and shoot out some ideas. You already have a great foundation with Ben there, and you guys should be making the big bucks with your own studio. Well, maybe. Their show has gone so downhill. The Maitland clip you played where she said she got new boots was the perfect example of what has changed. Years ago, someone had just gotten a new pillow for Valentine's Day, and man, did they have to share that news. Very similar scenario. But back then, they beat the shit out of you with good reason for bringing it up, hence creating great content and entertainment. The new shoe segment happened, and everyone just went, oh, yeah, all right, cool. Nice story, you horrible bitch, he writes. I didn't say that. He said that. Nice story, you horrible bitch. Should have been dropped, but we got nothing. Oh, I see what you did there. What the fuck? I apologize for offloading these messages and long emails onto you, but I get more pissed every day when you point out what shit I had made myself listen to for the past 5 years and how long it's taken to get out. Let's make radio great again and end the trance Free Beer and Hot Wings have put onto their listeners. Please play the I Am a Real American by Hulk Hogan here. Signed, Chris. All right. Now you might be getting a little bit carried away there. I followed up with, all true. I really don't think there's anything that can be done. All I continue to do and hope for is what I've done since I started doing what I'm doing now. Slowly, but surely, people find me. It might not even make a bit of difference in their world, but it does in mine. I know deep down that they know what I think about them. And I'm hopeful that it drives them crazy. I hope that I'm helping make them fully aware of what they've become, which is an absolute steaming pile of dog shit. Thank you, Chris. I enjoy reading your emails as I enjoy emails from everyone on the Shoreliners Striping inbox, Eric at ericzaneshow.com. Megan says we love a good pillow story. By the way, I'm still thinking about you. I love you very much. Cole says I used to listen to both. Pretty much lost interest a couple of months before Joe, quote unquote, retired. Bulls on Parade. I quit listening almost 2 years ago after over a decade of listening every morning. Thank you. Jeremy says brainwashed is the perfect term. Yeah, it's just a habit. These people are in the habit. They think that there's nothing else. And some of them just hate me. That's fine. I don't give a shit if they hate me or love me, just as long as you listen. That's all I care about. Patrick says this edition of Who Are These Freebirds may have been the best yet. The refrigerator bit. What the fuck, man? Oh. My God. Yeah, that was something. I appreciate that. Ben, I think, stole the show. He had great clips, and his setups were stunning. Those were excellent setups. Well done, Ben. All right. Patrick says, I continued to listen because it was simply part of my routine. It gradually got worse. Yeah. Actually, if you're not listening to me, I actually want you to listen there because you got to tip me off on shit you hear that's that I can park on for Who Are These Freebeers. A lot of the times when I find out about something, it's through a tip from an audience member. So I don't mind. I mean, I'm encouraging you to listen because I particularly like when there's something real that happens. Like Freebeer comes unglued, yells at Kelly, does something mean, or flips out and has a heart attack. Rebecca says, like me. Rebecca is the one who tipped me off on the Kelly Cheese divorce shit. You guys are on top of it, and I appreciate your help. Okay. Easy. I got to go tinkle. I'll be right back. There's a great possibility of a catastrophe that may work out here at the household, and boy, you're going to love the story, so I'm just putting myself and you on full alert. Pooh Bear wanted replaced the faucet in the tub, the shower head, and the thing you turn to make the water hot and cold. The handle, I guess. Shower head, success. I did everything I was supposed to do. Put a little Teflon tape on the threads. I know that much. It was a little bit of a challenge, but I got that done. I went ahead and pulled off the old handle and put the new one on, that regulates the water, hot and cold. Got that one. Good to go. Now all I need to do is put on the faucet. I take the old one off, and I go to put the new one on, and there's a problem. That puts a wrap on Act 1. Hey, that's called a cliffhanger. Act 2 is available. Listen to it right after this one, and thank you so much for checking out the show.